will show how to work row 23, and what we're making is the Bernat Slouchy Lace Beret. And I do have a picture of it right here. That's it right there, Slouchy Lace Beret. So it's a lace design all through the beret. Now when you first print off the design from the internet, you'll notice that the charts are really small. So what I did is I enlarged it on my computer screen and then saved that to my paint file and copied what I had on paint and pasted it in Word and then made it big enough where it covered the whole page, and that way my chart's really big and it makes it easy for me to follow. And I have 2 post-it notes on here, and the reason I use 2 instead of 1 is because when it's time for me to move up to the next row, I can move this up and I can tell that I've really only moved just 1 row, and then I can move up the next one. So if I just have 1, I'm going to do it. If I just have 1 and I take it off, then I'm like, oh man, what did I just do? So that's, to avoid confusion, I'll have 2 post-it notes. So we're working row 23 right now. And row 23 starts with 3 knits. And on my last video I showed you how to place your markers, so you should have your markers on there, and this will make it easy because you will do your stitch repeats in between those markers, 16 stitches. So I've already knit the first stitch to secure my marker on there. So I've got 1, I need 2 more knits. So there's 3 knits. Now I need to yarn over and I knit 2 together. Then a purl. I knit through the back loop. A purl. I knit through the back loop. And a purl. That purl, knit through the back loop, purl, knit through the back loop happens a lot, and it has a little row of stitches that comes up here. So if you ever get confused about your pattern, just make sure these all line up nice and neat. Then you'll be in good shape. And then I always double check and make sure I've finished all 3 of my purls. Now I'm ready for the next part of my design, which is a slip, slip, knit. Slip, slip. Put my left needle through there. Wrap it and pull it through. Slip, slip, knit. Yarn over. Then I end with 4 knits. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I should be at my marker, and I am. So I move my marker over to the right needle. So now I repeat all that again. So that's the purpose of markers, to help you make sure you're doing it right. 1, 2, 3, yarn over, knit 2 together, purl, knit through the back loop, purl, knit through the back loop, purl. There's my 3 purls. Knit through the back loops in between them. So now I'm ready for slip, slip, knit. I don't like that stitch, it's kind of frustrating for me. Slip, slip, knit, yarn over, knit 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I'm at the stitch marker. So that's how the stitch markers work. That's all there is to it. So if you have stitch markers, it helps. That way if you come to the stitch marker too soon, you know that you added an extra stitch, and you can just tink those back to get to that. So let me show you how to tink. If you don't know what tinking is just undoing your stitches in reverse. So to tink a knit, you just go back like that. And you take your marker back over here. Then I ended with 4 knits, so I need to take them off backwards. 1, 2. So that's the way tinking would work. So I'm going to knit and get back to where I was. marker. And I always do another knit stitch, or I do the next stitch after my marker so that it secures the marker. If I want to walk away, you don't want to walk away and leave the marker exposed, it can just fall right off. So always secure it with the next stitch. That's it. So that's how you use your markers as a guide as you work your lace knitting chart. Now some lace knitting, the number of stitches might change from row to row, and then your stitch markers wouldn't work because the number of stitches would be different. It's confusing. Anyway, this particular lace knitting pattern does not change numbers of stitches. It stays the same all the way through. So we can use markers for this. But as you get more experience with knitting, you'll come across patterns where the stitches don't stay consistent from beginning to end, and those you would not be able to use stitch markers for. But luckily the Slouchy Lace Beret works just fine with stitch markers. So now I'll be able to tell at a glance when I've finished each section without a problem. So good luck with you with knitting your Slouchy Lace Beret. See you in the Bernat forum.